Okay, welcome everyone to the Judiciary Committee hearing this Wednesday morning. We have a couple of agendas. The rezos, this is today is the reso deadline filing day. So if we have a catastrophic failure on the Zoom side, we'll try to fix it because we can't put it off until tomorrow. We do have a 2-minute time limit on testimony, both on Zoom and here in person. And first up on this agenda is Senate Concurrent Resolution 158. Which started out as requesting the Office of Elections to convene a working group on automatic voter registration, but we filed a proposed SD1 that would demand that the administration follow court orders and the law in general. First up on SCR 158 is Judith Mills Wong for the League of Women Voters of Hawaii. In support, Derek Turman. Would you like to testify or just?
Yes, Senator.
Okay, come on up. For Democratic Party of Hawaii. Good morning.
Thank you, Senator Rhodes. Good morning, and thank you for having me. So this is the Democratic Party of Hawaii stands in strong support of this resolution. In fact, in just 14 hours, we were able to gather 135 signatures in support from the Democratic Party of Hawaii. I'm also a practicing attorney. And while it just seems so obvious that this current presidential administration should support and obey court orders, at this point, we need to make a statement and we need to make it clear that the state of Hawaii just absolutely stands with the rule of law, court orders, and encourages the presidential administration to respect and obey court orders.
All right, great. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Next up is John and Rita Shockley for Free Access Coalition in support, and Elodie Aduha for Environmental Caucus of the Democratic Party of Hawaii, also in support. Amy Agbayani for Hawaii Friends of Civil Rights on Zoom, perhaps.
She's not present on Zoom, Chair.
Also in support, Osa Tui for Hawaii State Teachers Association. In support, Liza Ryan Gill for Hawaii Coalition for Immigrant Rights. In support, Abby Simons, Stonewall Caucus, Democratic Party of Hawaii. In support, Mihoko Ito for Hawaii Women Lawyers. In support, okay, that's everyone who signed up to appear on Zoom or in person. Would anyone else like to testify on Zoom or in person on this measure? Come on up.
Quick question. Is this for 158?
158.
Okay, for the working group for ABR.
No, well, that's the underlying reso, but we put out a proposed SD1 that is focused on the administrations in general following the lawful court orders or court orders.
Okay, so is this the lawful court orders part, or we're talking about automatic voter registration?
This is the court orders part.
Okay, so the ABR is coming up later, is that right?
No, we're substituting this for the AVR.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, I was going to speak toward the AVR, which is something that now we time to do that.
I mean, if you want to come testify on the AVR, but it's not that's not what's in front of us today.
Well, you guys wouldn't mind?
Sure, come on up.
That's great. I appreciate it.
Well, I can understand why you're here for AVR, because that was the original purpose of the
I was
yeah.
very confused. So, all right, thank you. And my name's Mark Cook. So what I wanted to talk about is just dangers of automatic voter registration, just so everyone understands it. I'll give you just a very brief background on me. I've been studying election issues, ecosystem, manipulation, fraud, etc., for going on over 4 years now. I've traveled all over the country, mostly the mainland. This is my first time in Hawaii, but I've been paying attention to what's been going on here as well. And what I have found is a pattern, a systemic pattern of huge vulnerabilities in the system that can be taken advantage of by sophisticated bad actors, which can be outside your state even, that can affect elections inside your state. And it can happen outside the county to affect elections inside the county. And it's even set up in a way that can allow elections to be manipulated from within the county. And the problem is with this entire system is that the citizens have been removed from the election process, and elections truly belong to the citizens. But instead of the citizens running elections, now we have corporations and the government and all these other entities running the elections. And automatic voter registration is a tool that can be used in the hands of bad actors. It's, disguised as a convenience. But the problem is there are bad actors out there, and bad actors can take advantage of automatic voter registration in order to affect elections in ways that people don't understand, because good people, good, honest people are such easy victims for sophisticated bad actors. And I would love to be able to spend more time with you or anyone to explain in detail what the true dangers of that are, because I want you guys to be able to protect the state of Hawaii from any external bad actors. And if you don't understand the dangers of it, you could get bit by it. And I'm here for a couple of weeks. I'm more than happy to leave my contact information. I'm more than happy to answer any questions. 2 minutes is definitely not enough time for me to go over my research and findings, but I want to be able to help empower you. That's all I can.
Thank you very much. Would anyone else like to testify in SCR 158? Okay, seeing none. Members, questions?
you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Just the totals were 53 in support, 1 opposed, and with 1 comment.
I've got a question.
Sure, go ahead. Senator Gabbard.
Democratic Party. Sure. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name again.
Oh, Derek Turbin.
Derek, okay.
Thank you.
So, Derek, what are the, does Congress or the states, do they have any way of enforcing compliance with court orders if the executive branch refuses to follow? Is there anything the states can do or the courts? No?
Obviously we have, rulings from our federal court system here in Hawaii. And, I think there's just an expectation that there's compliance with these federal rulings, here in the States, when it is impacted by the presidential administration.
But are you aware of any historical precedents that have been set where a president said, hey, I'm not going to follow that court order, and has that ever happened?
I mean, it's pretty unique, but we're seeing it happen, right before our very eyes. And in fact, Republican members of the Senate have been kind of filling the air with misinformation regarding, I think one Republican senator said that, how can just one judge overrule a executive order from the president? And as an attorney, as someone who has a lot of experience practicing law, that is the whole basis of the separation of powers, of checks and balances. When the president steps out of line with an executive order, the court system has to check that when it kind of runs against whether it's the Constitution, the rule of law. I think it's incredibly important that at least we as a state show that we stand with the rule of law and we stand and support the separation of powers and the checks and balances.
So do you know of a historical precedent though, where a president said, I'm not going to follow this, and what was the outcome?
I think right now we kind of see where the president isn't following it, and it's chaotic. States don't.
Yeah.
In the past, I think I could find some historical precedent in the past, but this is just so unprecedented what's going on.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator.
Other questions, members? Okay, if not, we'll go ahead and move on to the next bill on the agenda, which is SCR 154, supporting the implementation of the recommendations from all cycles of the Universal Periodic Review by the United Nations Human Rights Council where applicable to the state. We did not receive any testimony on SCR 154. Would anyone here or on Zoom would like to testify on Senate Concurrent Resolution 154? Okay, if not, we will, that's the end of that agenda. If it's okay with everybody, we'll go ahead and roll into voting. Okay, on SCR 158, this is the requesting the Office of Elections to, hang on, I have this. On SCR 158, this is initially was requesting the Office of Elections to convene a working group. We put out a proposed SD1, which focuses on or demands that the administration and any administration follow the law and accept the rulings of federal courts. So the recommendation is to go ahead and accept the proposed SD1, and that's it. Just accept the proposed SD1. Questions or concerns? If not, Senator Gabbard.
On SCR 158, Chair Rhodes.
Aye.
Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Chang.
Aye.
Senator San Buenaventura. Senator Owa.
No.
The measure passes.
Thank you very much. The other one, SCR 154, since there was no testifiers, I'm just going to go ahead and defer this one. Okay, that concludes our 9:30 agenda. Mayu, is it okay if we just go on into the 9:31 agenda?
Sorry, yes, that's okay.
Okay, so we'll go over to the 9:31 agenda. This is a decision-making only agenda. Bill, the reso was heard in the Public Safety Committee previously. This requests the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation in planning and designing the new Oahu Community Correctional Center and Halava to include circuit and district court facilities and establish a release procedure under which detainees or inmates upon release are transported to a site other than residential communities or public spaces. Recommendation here is to pass as is. Questions or concerns? If not, Senator Gabbard.
On SCR 26, recommendation to pass unamended. Any no votes or reservations of the members present? Hearing none, the measure passes.
Okay, thank you very much, members. Thanks for being here. We are adjourned.